Next, representing the Pullman campus, we will hear from Kara Hawkins-Jedlicka, Assistant Professor in the Murrow College of Communication, Jill McCluskey, President and Co-Founder of the McCluskey Foundation, Lori Quiring, Executive Director of the McCluskey Foundation, and Linda Middlehammer, Director of Community and University Relations for the McCluskey Foundation.
Next slide, please. So as a professor in a field where the goal is really trying to solve communications problems with communication solutions, using a real client with real goals really can create engagement that is deeper and more meaningful for the student experience. The pandemic really kind of created this loss of community within our students. Going online is fine, but being back on campus has been a little bit of a transition. So being able to bring in a real client and really have them in the classroom creates this kind of sense of social belonging amongst my students. It gives the classroom a little bit more structure. Service learning is one high impact practice of engagement that has been linked directly to student success by helping students really create this sense of community and connection to one another and the larger community. I've worked with the CC in the past, and a good community partner is really important. One that is up for new ideas, has some very specific challenges and knows where they're going and where they're heading. The McCluskey Foundation was an ideal pairing. They have been great to work with and are really kind of up for listening to our new ideas and what we're trying to do. And it really allowed the students to really learn / research more an important topic and learn how to work with a nonprofit brand. This isn't a fictional brand that they're working with. This is a real client with that needs real solutions within a context. So the setup this semester was to really allow students to analyze the issues at hand and provide solutions to help the foundation to meet their goals. We kicked off the semester, I think it was maybe even like the second day of class, with a visit from Dr. McCluskey. The students really worked on a creative brief after speaking with her to think about what type of communications campaign plan they could work on. They then worked through 2 different creative briefs and really kind of narrowed down their inspiration. They then worked through 3 projects that really kind of touch on different skills of advertising, and the foundation received every piece of work. A lot of this work is really, really good. It might not be perfect, but it at least allows for ideas that these foundation can draw from. Most importantly, projects really let students practice the skills we learn in class in kind of a low stakes situation, but with connection to a real client and a real communication. It's great to see them then get these pieces to be in resumes and portfolios. It is direct application, and it really sets them up well for their next class. We go from working with a real client here to typically working further in their careers, especially with real clients, but also in the next class, typically, which is 480. I'll hand this over to our client to let them kind of talk a little bit about their perspective, and I'll come back to kind of wrap up the projects. So I'll hand this over to Jill and Lori. Next slide, please.
Hi, so the interaction that we had with the students was just amazing. We were really inspired and blown away by the projects that they came up with, and we will definitely use the ideas that they brought to us, and it's been great to have all the materials. I was just so impressed by the professionalism and the innovation, and I think that we've been mostly working with people my age and above, and so it's wonderful to actually get that student perspective that might see things of their generations that we might miss. And so a lot of what the Lauren McCluskey Foundation so far, some of our initial success has been Lauren's promise, and that's I will listen and believe you if someone is threatening you. And so that's what they were working around. But then they came up with there were 3 different projects. One was a Lauren McCluskey safe house, and I just thought that was so innovative that it was building upon the experience that they had with COVID, that there was a safe place where students with COVID could live and to not infect each other. And they built on that they could that could be a place where a student who's being threatened could live in a safe spot where they wouldn't be in danger. The second one was working with Greek life, and we hadn't really explored this before. I just thought that was amazing that to get some of that perspective, that the students in Greek life have they all work with a philanthropy. They have a philanthropic purpose, and so if we could be the philanthropy that they work with, then it would be great. And then the third one was the working with Pac-12 athletics, and we got a bunch of ideas about how to do that.
All right, if we need to hurry up. I didn't realize we were running a little long. If we can grab to the next slide. Jill went over these great, so I'm not going to touch too much more on this point. The great thing about this is we are able to use the students to generate new ideas from a target market that the McCluskey Foundation is trying to reach. And while not exactly all of it aligns with what the foundation is currently doing, they do really offer insights and ideas. I want to hand this over the rest of the way to Tess, who is a student out of this class. And if we want to go to the next slide, she was one of our kind of innovative thinkers here. And I really just kind of want her to give her quick perspective on what it is to kind of work with a real client inside of the classroom.
Hi, my name is Tess. I'm currently a junior studying strategic communication. And for my semester-long project, Jill kind of explained it. I came up with a Lauren McCluskey safe house where students could go to if they were feeling unsafe on campus. Kind of a short synopsis. And there were 6 parts to the project throughout the semester. There was a short creative brief, which you can see on the left, titled Visual Creative Brief. Oh, sorry, no, that's in the middle. The visual creative brief was the second part, and that's on the left. There was a 10-page campaign plan. There was print assets, which you can see that sticker, the Are You Safe, and the logo was a part of that. And then a video/radio package. And then the final pitch which was in front of the class and the Lauren McCluskey Foundation. And I really loved working with the Lauren McCluskey Foundation because they are a real foundation, and it gave me the experience and drive to complete this project with excellence. The project gave me real world experience and showed me that I do enjoy making campaign plans like this, and it showed me that I'm on the right path for my future career. And by working with a real nonprofit organization, I can put this project on my resume and show possible future employers that I have real world experience. Is that all the time we have?
Yes, that was great. Thanks, Tess. So yeah, if you want to do the final slide, that's my contact information, but we always really appreciate working with the CCE, especially in kind of this situation. CCC very much lends well to, and our community partners lend well to the communications field. And it's always a pleasure to work with everybody, especially with ones that tend to align with a lot of passions on campus, especially mine, which include sport and grassroots organizing. So thanks. And if you have any questions, let me know.